My child, stop everything you're doing right now. Listen to me carefully, because what I am about to reveal to you today cannot wait another single moment. There is a sealed inheritance with your name engraved upon it, and the time to break that seal has finally arrived. I am Archangel Michael, and I have crossed the boundaries of heaven itself to stand before your spirit in this very second. What you are about to hear will reshape every corner of your existence. But you must stay with me, because if you turn away now, you may not understand why everything is about to shift beneath your feet. I know what you have been carrying. I have watched you drag yourself through mornings that felt heavier than mountains. I have seen you press your face into your pillow at night and release the tears you refused to show anyone else. You thought nobody noticed. You believed your silent battles were invisible. But I promise you, on the authority of the Most High, every tear was collected. Every whisper you breathed into the darkness reached the throne room before the sound even left your lips. Nothing was missed. Nothing was wasted. Today is not an ordinary day for you. This is the day I have been ordered to deliver a message that has been held in reserve since before your first breath. The heavens but have been preparing this moment with a precision that would stagger your understanding if you could see it from where I stand. Mountains were moved in the spiritual realm to clear the way for what I am about to place into your hands. And I need you to receive it with your whole heart, because what is coming will require a version of you that is stronger and more courageous than you have ever been. You feel it already, do you not? That strange tightness in your chest. That restlessness that will not let you sit still. That sense deep in your bones that something massive is approaching. Your spirit recognizes what your mind has not yet grasped. The atmosphere around your life has already begun to change. The old season is cracking open like dry earth before rain, and what is about to pour through those cracks will leave you speechless. My beloved, I did not come to frighten you. I came to prepare you. I came because the Father looked upon your life and said it was time, not tomorrow, not next month, today. Right now, as these words settle into your spirit, a divine process is accelerating in ways you cannot yet perceive. And by the time I finish speaking to you, you will understand exactly why every struggle you endured was necessary. Do you remember the nights when you questioned whether your prayers even made it past the ceiling? I was there. I stood guard over your room while you wrestled with doubt. I placed my hand on your shoulder when you nearly collapsed under the weight of everything you were carrying alone. You were never alone, not for a single heartbeat. The loneliness you felt was a lie planted by an enemy who desperately wanted you to quit, because he could see what was being built underneath your suffering. He could see the inheritance forming, and it terrified him. Let me tell you something that will change the way you see your entire history. Every hard season you walked through was not punishment. It was preparation. The fires you endured did not burn you. They forged you. Think about what happened to Moses when he spent 40 years in the wilderness tending sheep before I called him to lead a nation. Those years looked empty from the outside. They looked like wasted time and forgotten potential. But in the silence of that desert, I was shaping the most powerful deliverer the world had ever seen. Your wilderness served the same purpose. Your quiet years, your hidden tears, your private battles, they were the furnace in which I crafted something extraordinary inside your spirit. You asked me why the pain lasted so long. You begged me for answers in those midnight hours when sleep would not come. Precious one, the answer is standing right in front of you today. The length of your trial was measured to the exact depth of your destiny. A shallow calling requires only shallow preparation. But what I have stored for you demanded that you be refined at the deepest level, down to the very foundation of who you are. And now that foundation is set. It is unshakable. It is ready to hold the weight of everything I am about to build upon it. If this message has already touched something deep inside you, If you feel your spirit stirring with recognition as though it has been waiting for precisely these words, then type Amen in the comments below. Let that single word rise like incense from your heart. Let it become your signature on this divine contract between us today. Because when you declare your agreement with what heaven is doing, you activate the full measure of what has been prepared for you. I chose you before the foundations of this world were laid. Before the first star ignited in the darkness, I spoke your name. I saw every valley you would cross, every mountain you would climb, and every victory that waited for you on the other side. And I declared over your life that none of it would be wasted. Not the betrayals, not the disappointments, not the seasons when you felt invisible and forgotten. Every single experience was a thread in the tapestry I have been weaving since the beginning. My child, you have carried burdens that would have crushed most people. You shouldered responsibilities that no one thanked you for. You showed up day after day when everything inside you wanted to give up and walk away. You kept your composure in public while falling apart in private. I want you to hear me say this clearly. I am proud of you. Not because you performed perfectly. Not because you never stumbled. But because you kept going. You refused to abandon your post even when the battle seemed hopeless. That kind of faithfulness is rare in this world, and heaven has recorded every moment of it. What I have spoken so far is only the threshold of something far greater. The gratitude rising in your heart right now is not merely an emotion. It is a signal from your spirit that recognizes the voice of the one who has been watching over you all along. That recognition is the proof that this message was crafted specifically for your ears at this exact hour. Hold on to that feeling, beloved, because it will anchor you through everything I am about to reveal next. Now listen to what I am about to tell you next, because this is where the sealed letter begins to open. The season of barely surviving is over. You have been living in survival mode for so long that you forgot what it feels like to thrive. You forgot what it feels like to wake up without dread sitting on your chest. You forgot what it means to look at the future with excitement instead of anxiety. But today, I am shattering that survival mindset forever. The cage you have been living in was never locked from the outside. The door has been open this entire time, and I am now taking you by the hand and walking you through it. There are changes approaching that will touch every dimension of your existence, your finances, your health, your relationships, your peace of mind, your sense of purpose. I am not adjusting one area while leaving the others broken. I am overhauling everything. What you have known as normal is about to be replaced by something so much greater that you will look back on these days and weep with gratitude that they ended when they did. But here is what you must understand, my beloved. These changes are not coming because the world suddenly decided to be kind to you. They are coming because I commanded them. I issued a decree from the throne room that said, "Your season of drought is finished." I spoke into the spiritual atmosphere over your life and declared that the wells of blessing that were blocked are now flowing freely. No devil in hell can contest what I have authorized. No human being can reverse what I have set in motion. When I move on behalf of my chosen ones, the entire universe reorganizes itself to make room. Think about David when he was hiding in those dark caves, hunted by a king who wanted him dead. From the outside, it looked like David had been abandoned. It looked like every promise I made to him had expired. But I was never more present in David's life than I was in those caves. I was teaching him to worship in the darkness. I was training his hands for the throne while his body was crouched in hiding. And when the appointed day arrived, I brought him out of the cave and placed a crown on his head that no one could remove. Your cave season is ending today. The crown I have been crafting for you in secret is almost ready. And when I place it upon your life, every person who dismissed you, every voice that told you it was over, every circumstance that tried to bury you will witness the undeniable proof that I keep my promises. Do not let the heaviness of past failures hold your spirit captive for one more minute. Right now, speak these words out loud so your own ears can hear them and your spirit can absorb them. Say, I am ready to receive everything God has prepared for me. Say it again. Let those words vibrate through your chest and settle into the deepest chambers of your heart. I am ready. Because the moment you declared that readiness, heaven began moving at a speed your natural eyes cannot track. The world taught you to measure your worth by what you could produce, by how many people approved of you, by how much money sat in your account. But I am telling you today that your worth was established before any of those metrics existed. You are not valuable because of what you do. You are valuable because of who called you. And Archangel Michael, the warrior of the Most High, I am telling you that the one who called you has never for a single moment regretted choosing you. Not when you fell. Not when you wandered. Not when you questioned everything you believed. His love for you did not waver even once. Now I need to speak to you about something that many do not have the courage to face. There are parts of your life that have been stuck in one place for far too long. Relationships that used to bring you joy have become sources of silent pain. Dreams you once held close to your chest were tucked away in boxes labeled impossible. Habits that once served you have become chains that restrict your movement. Today, I am reaching into every one of those stuck places and releasing the pressure that has held them frozen. You see, when I prepare to release something massive into your life, I always begin by clearing the ground. I remove the debris of old wounds. I uproot the weeds of unforgiveness that have been choking your garden. I tear down the walls you built to protect yourself, but that ended up imprisoning you instead. This clearing process can feel painful. Beloved, it can feel like things are falling apart when they are actually falling into place. The shaking you have been experiencing lately is not destruction. It is renovation. I am tearing down what was built on weak foundations so I can rebuild your life on bedrock that nothing can move. Pay close attention to what is happening around you in the coming days. You will notice doors opening that you did not push. Conversations will unfold that answer questions you were afraid to ask. People will appear in your path carrying exactly what you need at exactly the right moment. These are not coincidences. They are my appointments. I scheduled every single one of them from the throne room, and I timed them with surgical precision. I want to tell you something about the quiet moments that you think do not matter. Those mornings when you choose peace instead of reacting in anger. Those evenings when you offer forgiveness to someone who will never know you forgave them. Those small acts of kindness that nobody sees and nobody applauds. My child, I see every one of them. And I want you to know that those hidden moments of faithfulness carry more weight in the heavenly courts than the loudest declarations on the grandest stages. The kingdom of heaven does not measure impact the way the world does. A single prayer whispered from a sincere heart can move mountains that entire armies could not shift. Remember the story of Paul on that storm-tossed ship. Everyone around him was screaming in terror, throwing cargo overboard, convinced they would perish. But Paul stood firm because he heard my voice in the chaos. He listened when every other voice was competing for his attention. And because he listened, every single person on that vessel survived. You are being positioned to be that same kind of anchor for the people around you. When the storms intensify in this world, and they will intensify, you will be the one who stands steady. You will be the calm in someone else's panic. You will speak truth when everyone else is spreading fear. There will be moments in the days ahead when those around you falter and search desperately for something solid to hold on to. You will be that solid ground because of everything I have built inside you through your trials. The hardships you cursed are the very experiences that equipped you to carry others through theirs. Your testimony is not merely your story. It is a lifeline I designed for someone who has not yet found their way back to me. Something is stirring deep within your chest right now. A warmth is spreading through your spirit that you cannot fully explain with natural reasoning. That is my presence settling over you like a mantle being placed upon your shoulders. This sensation was arranged for you alone. Breathe it in deeply, beloved. Let it settle into the marrow of your bones. What you are experiencing right now is the first tremor of the earthquake that is about to reshape your entire landscape. My child, what I am building in your life is not a temporary fix or a passing blessing that fades by morning. This is a permanent restructuring of your destiny. I am laying foundations that will support not just your future, but the futures of people connected to you, whose names you do not even know yet. The ripple effect of your obedience will reach shores you have never visited, and touch hearts you will never meet face to face. That is the scale of what I am doing through you right now. These words are awakening something in your spirit that feels like coming home. What you are sensing is not wishful thinking or emotional overflow. It is the sound of tumblers clicking into place inside a lock that has been waiting for the right key. This message is part of an ongoing conversation between your soul and the heavens that has been unfolding since before you drew your first breath. Each revelation builds upon the last, and together they form a complete blueprint for the extraordinary purpose I have assigned to you. The enemy has been watching you with great concern. He has noticed the shift in your spirit. He has observed the fire returning to your eyes, and he is terrified of what you are becoming. That is why the attacks have intensified recently. That is why the distractions have multiplied. That is why thoughts of doubt and inadequacy have been hammering at the walls of your mind with unusual force. He is not attacking you because you are weak. He is attacking you because you are dangerous. You are a threat to every lie he has built his kingdom upon. And, as I continue to strengthen you through these words, his grip on your circumstances grows weaker by the second. Do not waste your energy fighting him directly. He is beneath you. Instead, keep your eyes fixed on me and let me handle the warfare. Your assignment is to stand firm, to trust my voice above every other voice, and to walk forward into the light I am shining on your path. I will handle the shadows. I will scatter the enemies. I will demolish every stronghold that has been erected against your advancement. Your only job is to keep moving. Now, beloved, I want you to do something for me that carries more power than you realize. Think of at least 3 people in your life right now who are secretly suffering. You know who they are. The friend who laughs in public but cries in private. The family member who has been carrying burdens they refuse to talk about. The person in your circle who has stopped praying because they believe their prayers have been ignored. I need you to send this message directly to them today. Send it through your family group chat. Share it in your church group or your Facebook community. Because the same sealed inheritance I am delivering to you, I am prepared to deliver to them through your act of obedience. You are not just receiving a blessing today. You are being entrusted as its carrier. Let me show you something that will settle every question you have been asking. The timing of this message is not random. I chose this exact moment because you are standing at a threshold that only opens once. Behind you is everything familiar. The pain you learned to live with, the limitations you accepted as permanent, the version of yourself that was shaped by other people's opinions. Ahead of you is territory you have never explored. It is vast and wild and breathtaking, and it has been reserved exclusively for you since before the foundation of the world. I know you have tried to move forward before. I know you have set goals and made plans and told yourself this time would be different, and I know how it felt when those attempts collapsed. The shame you carried, the embarrassment of having to explain another failure, the quiet resignation that settled over you like fog. But I am telling you today with absolute certainty that those attempts were not failures. They were rehearsals. They were practice runs for this moment. And the reason they did not succeed is because the timing was mine to determine, not yours. You planted seeds in seasons when the ground was not ready. You tried to harvest before the fruit had ripened. You ran ahead of my schedule because the waiting felt unbearable. And each time I gently pulled you back. Not to punish you, not to humiliate you, but to protect you from receiving something before you had the capacity to hold it. What I have prepared for you requires a vessel strong enough to contain it without cracking. And I have spent every year of your life reinforcing that vessel, strengthening it with suffering, expanding it with patience, sealing it with faith that was tested in the fire and came out refined. You may have noticed that certain relationships have shifted recently. People who were once close have begun to pull away and the distance feels confusing. Let me explain this to you clearly. I am curating your circle with my own hands. Not everyone who walked with you in the wilderness is meant to enter the promised land alongside you. Some were assigned to you for a specific season, and their work in your life is now complete. Releasing them is not a loss. It is a graduation. It is proof that you have outgrown the environment that once defined you. In their place, I am bringing new connections that align with where you are going rather than where you have been. You will recognize them by the peace they carry and the purpose they ignite in your spirit. These are covenant relationships, forged in heaven before they manifest on earth. When they arrive, you will feel a familiarity that defies logic, as though your soul has known them far longer than your mind can explain. Be patient with this process. The reshuffling of your relational world may feel chaotic on the surface, but beneath the surface, I am conducting an orchestra. Every instrument is being tuned. Every musician is being positioned. And when I raise the baton, the symphony that erupts from your life will be unlike anything this world has ever heard. Now, my child, I need to warn you about something that many miss because they are too focused on what they can see. The physical realm is a shadow of the spiritual realm. What you observe with your natural eyes is only a fraction of what is actually happening. In the spirit, armies have been deployed on your behalf. Angels have been stationed at every entry point of your life with instructions to guard, guide, and accelerate the delivery of what I have promised you. The warfare you have felt, the heaviness, the confusion, the unexplained exhaustion. Those were symptoms of a battle being fought over your inheritance. But I want you to know, the battle is already won. The outcome was determined before the first blow was struck. The enemy is fighting a war he has already lost, and the proof of his defeat will become visible in your circumstances sooner than you imagine. Stay with me now, my beloved, because what I am about to reveal next is the very center of the sealed inheritance. This is the truth around which everything else revolves. This is the reason I crossed the divide between heaven and earth to stand before your spirit today. The sealed inheritance I am delivering to you today is this. Everything that was stolen from you is being returned, not partially, not in some watered-down substitute, fully and completely. The joy that was drained from your life is being restored at a level you have never experienced before. The peace that was shattered by circumstances beyond your control is being rebuilt with materials that no storm can damage. The purpose that was buried under years of disappointment is being resurrected with a clarity so sharp it will cut through every fog of confusion that has surrounded your thinking. I am not merely fixing what broke. I am upgrading everything. The relationships I am restoring will be deeper and more genuine than the ones that crumbled. The opportunities I am opening will be larger and more aligned with your true identity than anything you chased before. The health I am releasing into your body will carry a vitality that defies your age and your history. I am doing a new thing in your life, and it has already begun. The evidence is accumulating beneath the surface, and it will breach into the visible realm at the moment I have appointed. This is why the waiting was so long, beloved. I was not ignoring you. I was engineering something so precise and so magnificent that rushing it would have diminished what you deserve. Consider how a master craftsman works. He does not hurry. He does not cut corners. He measures twice and builds once, because his reputation hangs on the quality of the finished work. Your life is my masterwork. Your restoration is the piece I will point to when heaven and earth want to see what my faithfulness looks like in its fullest expression. You are the living proof that nothing is too broken for me to restore, that no night is too dark for my dawn to shatter, that no enemy is too powerful for my hand to crush. And when the people around you witness what I do next in your life, they will fall to their knees, not because of anything you did, but because my glory will be so heavy upon you that denial will become impossible. My precious child, I want to speak to you now about something that lives at the very heart of this mission. Every word you have heard today did not reach you by accident. It reached you because faithful hands carried it across the earth, so your ears could receive it at the precise moment your spirit needed it most. This work of delivering heaven's messages to wounded hearts is a sacred assignment, and it continues only because people like you choose to stand behind it. If these words have stirred your spirit, if this message has reminded you that you are seen, known, and deeply loved by the Creator of everything that exists, then I invite you to become a part of the family that makes these messages possible. Visit our Ko-Fi community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed of support through a donation, you are doing far more than funding a platform. You are planting directly into the soil of a divine rescue operation that pulls lost souls out of darkness every single day. Your generosity becomes the oil that keeps these lamps burning and the bread that sustains this table. But I want you to hear this clearly. Beyond what you give, what matters most is your presence. When you step into our community, you enter a sanctuary of believers who pray for one another, carry each other's burdens, and stand in the gap when someone's faith grows tired. You are not walking into a website. You are walking into a family that speaks the language of heaven and refuses to let any member fight alone. Come as you are. Bring your prayers. Bring your heart. And watch what the Most High does when His children gather in one place with purpose. Now, let me open the next chamber of this inheritance for you, because what I have shown you so far is only the entrance hall. You have spent years trying to manage everything on your own. You organized your worries into neat categories. You created strategies for handling your pain. You developed routines to keep the sadness at bay. And while I admired your resilience, beloved, I need you to understand something crucial today. You were never designed to carry those loads alone. The system you built to survive was remarkable, but survival was never my goal for you. Thriving is my goal. Abundance is my goal. A life so overflowing with purpose and peace that the cup cannot contain what I am pouring into it. That is what I have always intended for you. So today, I am asking you to release the management systems you built during the hard years. Lay down the coping mechanisms that kept you functional, but never let you truly heal. Hand me the schedules you created to control the chaos, because I am replacing chaos with divine order. When I organize your life, nothing is left to chance. Every morning is purposeful. Every evening carries reflection. Every encounter holds potential for something eternal. I want to tell you about the inner healing that is taking place right now, even as you listen to these words. There are memories stored deep in the chambers of your heart that still carry pain. Moments from your childhood when someone spoke careless words that lodged themselves in your identity. Seasons in your adult life when betrayal cut so deep that you learned to keep everyone at a safe distance. Experiences that left invisible scars, the kind that do not show on the surface, but ache whenever the weather of life changes. I am reaching into every one of those chambers today, not to expose them or to make you relive the pain, but to heal them at the root. Where there was a wound, I am placing new tissue that is stronger than the original. Where there was a fracture, I am setting the bone with a precision that will leave it more resilient than before. Where there was infection, bitterness, resentment, unforgiveness, I am flushing it out with the antiseptic of my love. This healing process may feel uncomfortable in the short term. You may find old emotions surfacing in the coming days. Tears may fall at unexpected moments. Memories you thought you had successfully buried may rise to the surface uninvited. Do not resist this. It is the healing breaking through, and every tear that falls carries poison out of your system. When this inner work is complete, and it will be complete because I finish what I start, you will experience a freedom so profound that you will wonder how you ever lived without it. The heaviness that sat on your chest every morning will dissolve like mist in sunlight. The anxiety that kept your mind racing through the night will be replaced by a stillness so deep and so complete that sleep will come to you like a gift. The walls you built around your heart to keep people out will crumble gently, and in their place you will find the courage to love and be loved without the constant fear of being destroyed. My child, I need you to hear this with absolute clarity. The version of yourself that you have been living as is not the real you. The real you was buried underneath layers of survival, compromise, self-protection, and other people's expectations. But today, I am peeling those layers away one by one, and what is emerging underneath is someone so magnificent, so powerful, so full of light, that even I, Archangel Michael, who has beheld the glory of the throne room, am moved by what I see forming inside you. These words are now becoming pillars in the foundation of your new identity. You refuse to be defined by what tried to destroy you. You are defined by the one who chose you, who calls you, and who will never let you go. These truths are ringing through the corridors of your spirit right now, drowning out every label the world tried to pin on you and every limitation your past attempted to impose on your future. The old definitions are crumbling. The new ones are rising in their place. You are walking into a season of revelation, beloved. Things that were hidden from your understanding are about to become crystal clear. Relationships that confused you will suddenly make sense. Closed doors that wounded your pride will reveal the dangers they were shielding you from. Unanswered prayers will show their answers wrapped in packaging you did not recognize at the time. The fog is lifting. The picture is forming. And what you are about to see will fill you with such awe that the only appropriate response will be worship. You are sensing that this journey is not meant to be walked alone. The messages I am delivering through this voice are part of a continuous thread of divine instruction designed to carry you from where you are to where you are destined to be. This well of living water does not dry up between visits, beloved. It is always flowing. It is always available. And every time you return to drink from it, you will find that the water reaches deeper places inside your spirit than it did the time before. The supply is endless because it flows from an eternal source. Now I am going to name something that most messengers would not dare to speak aloud. But you have earned the right to hear this truth, and your spirit is strong enough to receive it. There has been a blockage in your life that you could not identify no matter how hard you searched. You prayed about it. You fasted over it. You analyzed it from every angle your mind could manage. But it remained invisible because it was not a natural obstacle. It was a spiritual wall, constructed by an adversary who understood that if you ever moved past it, his influence over your life would be finished permanently. I am naming this wall today, so it can no longer hide in the shadows of ambiguity. This blockage was built from 3 materials. The first is guilt you were never meant to carry. Mistakes you made years ago that you confessed and repented of, but continued to punish yourself for. The record was cleared in heaven the moment you asked, but the enemy whispered that it was still open. He lied. The second material is fear of receiving. You became so accustomed to loss that the idea of actually gaining something good began to terrify you. What if it gets taken away again? What if I am not meant for good things? Those questions did not come from me. They came from a liar who wants you perpetually braced for impact instead of positioned to receive. The third material is comparison. Looking at other people's timelines and measuring your progress against theirs. Concluding that because their blessing arrived faster, yours must have been canceled. But I work on individual blueprints, not assembly lines. What I designed for you cannot be compared to what I designed for anyone else, because the assignment is entirely different. Today, I am demolishing this 3-layered wall with a single command. Guilt. I declared you innocent. You have no right to overrule my verdict. Fear. I am the God of restoration, and what I give, no one can take away from you. Comparison. Your path was drawn by my own hand, and it leads to a destination that no other human being on earth was created to reach. The wall is down. The road is clear. And the inheritance I sealed for you is now within reach. Can you feel the shift happening, my beloved? Can you sense the atmosphere around your life changing as these words dismantle structures that have been standing for years? What you are experiencing right now is not imagination. It is the undeniable evidence that I am at work in the deepest layers of your existence. I know there were people who should have protected you, but instead became the source of your deepest wounds. Family members who were supposed to build you up but tore you down. Authority figures who should have guided you but led you astray. Friends who pledged loyalty but vanished at the first sign of difficulty. The pain from those betrayals did not simply go away when the relationships ended. It burrowed into your nervous system and taught your body to expect disappointment from every new connection. But I am rewiring those expectations today. I am reaching into the place where trust was broken, and I am rebuilding it with materials that cannot be compromised. The relationships I bring into your next season will be different from anything you have experienced because you are different from who you were when those old connections were formed. You have been refined. You have been tested. You have been proven faithful. And the people I am sending to walk with you now will match the person you have become, not the person you used to be. Before I reveal the charge I am placing upon your life, I need you to do something that carries eternal consequences. Think of 2 people right now who are trapped behind the same kind of wall I just demolished for you. Someone stuck in guilt. Someone paralyzed by fear of receiving. Someone whose hope has been choked by comparison. You know their faces. You know their names. Send this message to them right now through a text message or through your WhatsApp group. Do not wait until tomorrow because the urgency of this moment will not be available again in the same way. You are holding a key that I handed you today, and that key opens doors for more people than just yourself. The world around you is entering a season of unusual shaking, my child. Structures that appeared permanent will reveal their fragility. Systems that people trusted implicitly will show their cracks. And in the middle of that shaking, many will lose their footing. They will search frantically for something steady to hold on to, something real, something that does not shift with the tides of circumstance. You will be that steady presence, not because you are perfect, not because you have all the answers, but because you are anchored to the one who cannot be moved. I have been preparing you for this role throughout every storm you endured. Every night you spent on your knees was training. Every battle you fought in silence was a drill. Every tear you shed in secret was a deposit into a reservoir of compassion that you will draw from when the people around you begin to crumble. You will not crumble with them. You will stand. You will speak words of life when everyone else is speaking words of panic. You will point people toward the light when the darkness tries to convince them that hope is extinct. This is not something you need to strive for, beloved. It is already inside you, the strength, the wisdom, the peace, the authority. They were planted in your spirit during the hardest seasons of your life, and they have been growing roots ever since. What I am doing now is calling them to the surface. I am summoning them from the deep places where they have been developing in secret. And when they emerge fully into the light, you will barely recognize yourself in the mirror because the person staring back at you will be someone you never dared to believe you could become. Now hear this, my child, because what I am about to place upon you is the charge that this entire message has been building toward. Everything I said before was preparation for this single moment. Every word was a step on the staircase leading to this threshold. And now that you have arrived, I need your full attention. Today, I am commissioning you as a carrier of my glory into the darkest corners of this world. I am not asking you to become something you are not. I am commanding you to become everything you already are. The gifts I placed inside you at birth have been dormant long enough. The calling I whispered over your life while you were still in the womb has been deferred long enough. The authority I delegated to your spirit has been unused long enough. Today, that changes. Today, you step into the fullness of what I designed you for. No more hiding behind false humility. No more shrinking yourself to make insecure people comfortable. No more apologizing for the fire I placed in your belly and the vision I planted in your eyes. You are being deployed, my child, not to a battlefield of your choosing, but to the exact coordinates I have already mapped out for your life. I know where you need to be. I know who needs to encounter you. I know what words need to come out of your mouth and what actions need to flow from your hands, and I have equipped you for all of it. Every resource you will need has already been released into the spiritual pipeline. Finances, relationships, wisdom, health, favor. They're all on their way to you, time to arrive at the precise moment you require them. Do not ask me if you are qualified. I am your qualification. Do not wonder if you are ready. I declared you ready. Do not fear that you will fail. Adikinista have never lost a battle, and I will not start with you. The same power that split the Red Sea in half is available to you today. The same hand that shut the mouths of lions for Daniel is extended toward you right now. The same voice that called Lazarus out of a sealed tomb is speaking these very words into your spirit. There is nothing that can stand against what I have authorized for your life. No diagnosis, no debt, no betrayal, no generational curse, no demonic assignment, nothing. I want you to carry this charge with you from this moment forward. When you wake up tomorrow morning, remember that you are commissioned. When you face opposition this week, remember that you are backed by the armies of heaven. When doubt tries to whisper that this message was just a nice experience and nothing will really change, silence that. Lie with the authority I have placed in your mouth. Speak over yourself. Declare over your household. Proclaim over your circumstances. Because when my commissioned ones open their mouths and speak in alignment with my word, the spiritual realm moves. Mountains relocate. Rivers reverse their course. Walls that have stood for generations crumble like sand. Beautiful one, the charge has been placed upon you. There is no retreating from it now, not because I force your obedience, but because your spirit recognizes what it was built for. You have felt restless your entire life because you were never meant to live small. The restlessness was not a flaw. It was a compass pointing you toward this exact moment. Stand to your feet in the spirit, straighten your back, lift your head. Because you know exactly who you are now. You are who the Most High says you are. You walk in the authority of heaven. You carry the glory of the one who sent you. And no weapon formed against you will prosper. This is not hope. This is not a wish. This is a fact established in the courts of heaven before you took your first breath, and principalities tremble when someone who carries this truth steps into the fullness of it the way you are stepping into it right now. My child, I am going to tell you something now that I rarely share through spoken words because most people are not prepared to receive it. But you are ready. The journey you have walked, the fires you have survived, the faith you maintained when every logical reason to quit was screaming in your face. These have unlocked a level of hearing in your spirit that qualifies you for what I am about to say. The inheritance I sealed over your life is not something you will receive in some distant future when conditions are finally perfect. It is arriving now, this very hour. The mechanisms that deliver it have already been activated. The channels through which it flows have already been cleared. And The obstacles that tried to block its delivery have already been removed from the path. I am not speaking in metaphors anymore, beloved. I am speaking in declarations that carry the full weight of heaven's authority behind them. Your body will experience restoration that medical records cannot explain. Symptoms that have plagued you for years will begin to fade as though they were never there. Energy will return to places where exhaustion has lived for so long that you forgot what vitality felt like. I am healing you from the inside out, and the evidence of this healing will show up in ways that leave no room for anyone to attribute it to anything other than divine intervention. Your finances are shifting from a posture of scarcity to a posture of surplus. Doors that lead to provision are swinging open right now, and the resources flowing through them will not be measured by your previous limitations. What is coming to you financially is not a raise. It is a repositioning. You are being moved from the back of the line to a place of influence and stewardship that will allow you to bless others on a scale you never thought possible. Your family is being touched by my hand in this very moment. The son or daughter who has wandered away is being drawn back. The marriage that felt like it was hanging by a thread is being reinforced with cords that cannot be broken. The sibling or parent from whom you have been estranged is having their heart softened as I speak. I am the God who turns the hearts of children toward their parents and parents toward their children. What human effort could not accomplish? A single word from my mouth has already resolved. The peace I am releasing into your spirit right now is not the kind the world offers. The world gives you peace that depends on circumstances. When things are good, you feel calm. When things are bad, the peace evaporates. But the peace I give you today operates on an entirely different frequency. It remains steady when the ground beneath you shakes. It stays calm when the storm rages at full force. It holds you upright when everything around you collapses. This peace is supernatural, and it is now permanently stationed inside your spirit as a sentinel that stands guard over your mind. I see you, my precious one. I see the mornings you dragged yourself out of bed with nothing but raw discipline because your emotions had abandoned you hours before dawn. I see the conversations you smiled through while your heart was splitting apart behind your ribs. I see the prayers you offered with a voice that cracked from the sheer weight of what you were asking me to carry. And I am telling you with every ounce of authority heaven has vested in me. Those days are over. Not winding down. Not gradually improving. Over. The chapter that held those pages has been closed, sealed, and shelved. And the new chapter that is opening right now will make every painful page that came before it worth the reading. Hear me now as I speak the final decree over your life. This is the highest authority speaking through me, and every word I am about to utter is backed by the unbreakable covenant of the Most High. I decree that every chain holding you to your past is shattered beyond repair. I decree that every curse spoken over your bloodline is annulled by the blood of the Lamb. I decree that every assignment of delay, denial, and destruction deployed against your future is canceled and returned to the sender void of power. I decree that you will walk in the fullness of your calling, starting today with no further delay and no further compromise. I decree that the sealed inheritance bearing your name is now open and its contents are flooding into every area of your life with the force of a river that no dam can contain. And I decree that you will not merely survive what is coming. You will lead others through it with the authority and compassion of someone who has been personally trained by the hand of the living God. This decree is final. It is irrevocable. It is done. My beloved child, before I release you into this new season with my full blessing, let me gather everything I have spoken over you today. I told you that your sealed inheritance has been opened. I showed you that your suffering was preparation, not punishment. I named the wall that blocked you, and I demolished it with a single command. I charged you as a carrier of divine glory. And I decreed that nothing will stand against what has been authorized for your life. Now carry this blessing with you wherever you go. I bless your waking and your sleeping. I bless the works of your hands and the dreams of your heart. I bless the ground beneath your feet and the air that fills your lungs. Let my favor rest upon you like a crown that can never be removed. If this message has spoken to the deepest parts of who you are, share it now. Send it to someone who needs to know that heaven has not forgotten them. Post it in your Facebook group, or text it to the person whose face appeared in your mind while you were listening. You hold a torch that was lit by the throne room itself. Do not hide it under a basket. I invite you once more to step into our Ko-Fi community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether through membership or a donation of any size, your seed becomes a lamp that pushes back the darkness for someone who cannot yet find the light on their own. Every gift sustains this mission of reaching broken hearts across the earth. And if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, do it now. Press that button and stay connected to the divine thread that heaven is weaving through your life one message at a time. What I have spoken to you today is only the beginning. There is more coming. So much more. And you do not want to miss a single word. Now bow your head with me, my beloved, and receive this closing prayer as the final seal upon everything spoken today. Father, I bring this precious child before your throne. You know their name. You know their story. You know every tear and every triumph. I ask that you wrap them in your presence right now and let them feel the weight of your love pressing against their spirit. Protect them as they step into this new season. Guide their feet on the path you have lit for them. Surround them with your angels and station your warriors at every gate of their life. Let the inheritance you sealed for them manifest in ways that leave no doubt it came from your hand. Strengthen them for the assignment you placed upon their lives today. Give them courage to speak when silence would be easier. Give them peace when the world offers panic. Give them wisdom that surpasses anything their education or experience could produce. And above all, let them know in the marrow of their bones that they are loved, unconditionally, irrevocably, eternally. In the mighty and matchless name above all names, it is done. Amen.